Today's video is brought to you by all my lovely patrons who voted for its inclusion in the schedule. If you'd like to get involved in Patreon, then please do check it out. There are lots and lots of rewards up for grabs. I'll leave the link in the description. But what did they vote for?
Well, let's discuss this class.
That's right, Mr. Joey's flat class is in session. Hello all, and welcome to another edition of the ever popular and well loved Flat Earth Friday. Thank you very much for joining me. Today we have a special guest, Mr. Joey Rocha. He has decided it would be a good idea to make a video directed towards third graders about Flat Earth. Now, we're all adults here, so obviously it's our responsibility to fill the gaps that our education system left behind. Isn't that right, Conspiracy Cats?
Oh, definitely. I always felt that Mrs. Klinderspickle, my old astronomy teacher, was hogging all the real info.
Excellent. So then, are you ready to begin?
Yeah. What about you, godless engineer? You ready?
Oh yeah, bring it on! I'm ready to be 9 again.
Gentlemen, class is in session.
Aloha and welcome to Mr. Joey's flat class.
Hi, Mr. Joey!
Joey!
Epicema.
Teaching the Earth is not a globe to a third grader.
Yay! I'm learning.
Today, I'm going to teach the sun is a light, the moon is not a reflector of the sun, the Earth's core is not magnetic, tectonic plates are a hoax, and the Earth is flat and motionless, and also why they lied about the globe.
Okay, that seems a lot for one lesson, but alright.
This should be interesting.
Sir, may I go to the bathroom real quick?
Let's start right into it. The sun is a light, not a burning ball of flames.
But sir, the sun is a star which is a giant luminous ball of gas with a nuclear fusion reactor in its core.
Yeah, but it's not really a burning ball of flames.
It does produce light, though.
How do we know this? Let me put my thinking cap on and I'll explain everything to you. Hold on one moment.
Mr. Joey, Cats called me a flurfer.
I did not.
You totally did.
Shut up! I can't hear Madonna.
Okay, I'm back. By the way, share this video right now while it's live in all your favorite Facebook truth groups so we can gain a larger audience and make sure and give it a title. Today I challenge anyone to debate me live as well as I'm going over these proofs. Now here we go. The sun is a light. NASA and the heliocentric theory claim that the sun is a burning ball of flames.
But, sir, I don't think NASA has ever claimed that.
The sun, the heart of our solar system, is a yellow dwarf star, a hot ball of glowing gases. NASA.
They do have a way with words.
Well, let's discuss this class.
Sir?
Hawaiian internet speed sucks.
Is he downloading the lesson?
A ball of flames
Oh, good.
is supposedly giving us a tan and supplying us with this thing that we call vitamin D.
I prefer vitamin C. It's tasty.
Lime has a lot of vitamin C.
Will you two shush? I'm trying to learn how I'm wrong.
So let's apply science. What is it that is up there?
The sun.
The unknown?
My hopes and dreams.
Is it a ball of flames or is it a light, as our ancestors taught? Well, you cannot get a tan or vitamin D from a barn fire, simply put.
What the?
Is he serious?
He's comparing the sun to a bonfire? I don't even know where to begin with that.
You cannot get a tan from a barn fire. How do you get vitamin D in a suntan? Well, it's easy enough. You go to a tanning salon. It's a light, a UV light. We're in a aquaponics terrarium. The second law of thermodynamics is being violated because it emphatically states that you cannot have a vacuum, which is outer space supposedly, next to a non-vacuum, which is Earth's atmosphere, without a solid barrier in between.
Someone's been listening to the junk that Quantum Eraser puts out on Nathan Oakley's show.
For a full and complete rundown as to why this isn't true, check out the debate between Conspiracy Cats and Nathan Thompson, where Nathan asked that very question. Link is in the description.
Oh, you guys, advertising my debates. How nice.
No, it's on my channel.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you get your own channel, cats.
I do have my own channel. Link's in the description. No, it's not.
Essentially though, there is no law of thermodynamics broken here. Gravity keeps the atmosphere onto the planet, and it does so with a pressure gradient. For a more detailed description, check out a clip that I did on a previous video. The gravitational pull of the Earth keeps the atmosphere clinging to the planet. This means that the atmosphere has a pressure gradient. Think of the ocean. Just below the surface there is very little pressure. However, as we go down deeper, the pressure increases. At 1 kilometre down, the pressure is just over 76,000 torr. This is because of the huge volume of water above. At 500 metres depth, the pressure is just over 38,000 torr, because there is less water above this point than at 1 kilometre. This is demonstrated well by placing 3 holes down the side of a full water bottle. The slightly greater pressure of the water at the bottom, due to all the water on top of it, pushes the water out of the bottom hole at a greater rate than the other 2. Now it's the same with our atmosphere. The atmosphere is also a fluid, like the sea. Here at sea level, the pressure is greatest because of the huge volumes of atmosphere sitting above us. It's about 760 torr. 1 kilometre up, the pressure is 676 torr, 5 kilometres 433 torr, and so on. The edge of space is considered to be around 100 kilometres up. The pressure there is 1.5 torr. Because there's very little air pressure up there, there's no force pushing the atmosphere into space.
Yay! I'm learning.
The atmosphere is a series of gases that we call the atmosphere. You cannot have an encapsulation without an atmosphere. So what in the atmosphere, it's a series of gases, is acting as a solid, so that the second law of thermodynamics cannot be violated. What gas is acting as a solid to prevent the vacuum from the non-vacuum separation? None. So space itself is improbable.
Really?
Well, sir, you've given us the wrong definition of the sun, and you don't seem to know which gases make up our atmosphere.
I'd say, sir, that your opinion on whether space is real or not is irrelevant.
Well, that was the first point of the lesson. I learned that the sun is a ray of light.
No, that's a Madonna song.
Oh, right. Well then, I learned nothing.
Let's move on to Mr. Joy's second point.
The next topic is the moon is not a reflector of the sun. This is an easy one.
Oh, was the other one difficult?
Being a flat earther is hard work, man. Gah.
I thought being an engineer was hard work.
Nah, look at me. I'm living the life.
I want everyone to do a mental thought experiment, okay?
Okay.
For this experiment, I'm going to ask you to either close your eyes or metaphorically close your eyes.
How the fuck do I do that?
Use your imagination the best you can. It's a real simple mental experiment before I get into the proofs to show you how the moon is not a reflector of the sun's light.
Oh, so he wants us to imagine it.
I'm good at imagining things.
Yeah, okay. I'm a bit on the creative side. Okay, let's imagine.
Now, use your imagination.
Mm-hmm.
You turn off all the lights in your room, the largest room in your house, or an extremely large room that you can imagine.
I just turned out the lights in a hospital. Everybody's screaming.
Turn off all the lights. Grab yourself a flashlight to represent the sun. Grab yourself a soccer ball or a basketball to represent the earth. And then grab yourself a tennis ball to represent the moon.
And then just grab yourself and ask, what the hell am I doing with my life?
If the sun is responsible for if the earth's shadow is responsible for the moon's waning and waxing phases because it's creating its crescent shadow and shining like a supposed laser beam specifically only on the moon, yet the rest of the night sky is not lit up, well then see if you can duplicate that by the earth being represented as the basketball or soccer ball, the moon being represented as the tennis ball, and the flashlight the sun. Make that crescent. Guess what happens? the rest of the room is illuminated too, and we're supposedly in an infinite space.
Sir, oh my. So your problem here is that you think Earth's shadow causes moon phases.
Sir, if you don't understand the model that you're trying to debunk, what are we all doing here?
Sir, I still need to go to the bathroom.
The sun cannot be a reflector of the moon's light because the moon also has a measurable temperature difference. Yes, you can measure heat and you can measure cold with a digital thermometer. The sun is not a burning ball of flames, it's a light. And the moon creates its own light as well.
Hey, SciManDan, why don't you do an experiment and show us how it's done?
Gladly, just have to check my schedule here. Hey, Cats, are we still having the ballet practice this weekend?
Yeah, please. I still need to work on my landings. Weak ankles.
I'll do my best to bring this experiment to you by the end of the month.
Next topic. Oh, this one is one of my favorites.
Good for
Oh,
you,
super.
man.
Lovely. Good.
Great.
Good for you.
According to NASA, I don't know how they came to this conclusion, but according to NASA, they say at some 3,000 plus radius of our Earth's core, it's magnetic. And their whole theory relies on Earth's core being magnetic at some 3,000 plus miles radius, which I don't know how they came to that conclusion.
He must have reached his limit on open tabs.
But I know that there's no proof of it because the deepest hole we've ever dug is about 9 miles deep.
Space comma.
Cats, play nice.
Space comma.
What the hell is a space comma?
Space comma.
Okay.
Well, one thing we do have proof of is a magnetic field. Now, if you want to offer some evidence as to how that field is created, I'm all ears.
Seriously, we have people working their butts off, investing years of their lives to teach a new generation about the planet they're living on, and this Joker teacher just comes up and says, "Nah, that ain't true, 'cause I said so."
Whoa, easy, engineer. You'll pop a vein.
We have extremely strong evidence relating to the structure of the Earth's inner and outer core. We also have evidence that this magnetic field has existed for at least hundreds of millions of years. And if you don't believe me, Google it and check your sources. This ain't your grandpa's Discovery Channel.
Actually, it's my channel.
Are you Grandpa? Are you Grandpa?
No.
No. Thank you.
Somehow their theory claims that at our core, it's molten metal, mostly iron, and it's at several thousand degrees Fahrenheit. However, all you have to do is apply the laws of physics once again to their supposed magnetic core theory, and you'll see it's going to be violating a law of physics which can't be violated.
Oh, here we go. More physics violations. Go on then.
Give us your worst, teach.
My body is ready.
So the Curie-Weiss law, which is a law of physics, emphatically states that any metal at or above 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit loses its magnetic susceptibility, rendering it unmagnetic.
Go on.
If the Earth's core is at some 3,000 miles radius plus magnetic metal, how could it be at the temperature that they claim?
Well, quite easily, actually. Why don't you explain it, engineer?
Well, quite easily, actually. The Curie-Weiss law only applies to ferromagnetic materials and not the magnetic fields themselves. Ferromagnetism means that a metal will retain its magnetic properties even without a magnetic field.
That was very good.
Spectacular, engineer.
You should make a YouTube channel. Link in the description?
Link in the description.
You see how every single topic that I bring up, they're violating the laws of physics, and Occam's razor is pleased with the flat earth example.
Well, if you actually understood these laws and maybe the model you're arguing against, then maybe you'd have a point, sir.
Let's move on to tectonic plates.
Tectonic plates hoax. Whew.
I think he's trying to keep the class cheerful.
There's nothing cheerful about this class.
I need to go to my happy place. Where's Madonna?
Okay, tectonic plate hoax is necessary on a globe. On a globe or some kind of rock, and there's a middle core, and then there's these supporting triangular kind of pyramid things that shift these tectonic plates, and when they move, they're responsible for the earthquakes that we have. But remember, we're on a flat, motionless plane. So what is actually happening? What is happening when these things that we call earthquakes occur?
Good question, sir. What is happening there?
Palms at the ready.
Ready?
Ready.
Oh, damn it. Did it too soon.
Well, the quick and easy answer is that tectonic plates are theorized. They're a hoax. They're theorized just like evolution. There's zero proof for tectonic plates. They're only spoken of. And supposedly, because there's earthquakes, somehow there are tectonic plates.
Hey, do you guys want to play quick 3 after this?
Nah, you're spawn camping.
I'm not.
You are?
I'm so not.
So...
Dear diary,
R2.
help me.
R2.
What is responsible for earthquakes is simply this. On this flat, motionless plane that we live on top of,
I'm
You
not.
so are.
underneath us are vast bodies of water,
I'm not.
R2.
mines of gold and copper and nickel, all kinds of different stuff deep beneath the earth, included in all that stuff, coursing through the earth is lava tubes. Like blood vessels in our veins, so it's coursing all throughout the earth.
Oh, man. Sir, I'm sure you've got lots of evidence for this, so can we see some?
Now imagine this. Here's a mental experiment for you. You get a bucket and you fill it up with sand, a clear bucket, okay? You fill it up with sand.
Are we supposed to imagine this?
No,
So we do it for real?
no.
Well, which is it? I want to get an A for this.
I think we're all failing this class right now.
Put rocks, put everything, all your different rubble in there, water it down real good, get it nice and packed earth. Now, halfway inside of that, grab yourself a hole. Grab yourself a hole.
Sir, we really think you shouldn't teach sexual education.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine?
My poor innocent mind.
A flat earther teaching sex ed?
Sir, is foreplay a myth?
Oh no.
Sir, is sexology fake?
Sir, are toys a hoax?
Sir, can we recreate experiments?
Homework assignments?
The images. The images.
Grab yourself a hole and stick a broom handle through it, or a stick that's strong enough to push its way through. Watch what happens on occasion to the very top of the surface. On occasion, as these large, huge lava tubes that course through our earth, as they penetrate the earth underneath us, they cause eventual cave-ins to occur, which makes the earth quake.
I won't even begin to talk about scale issues and the material consistency. That's your proof.
So an earthquake more correctly should be called a cave-in, due to underground lava tubes displacing the earth between us on the surface of this flat earth and the lava tubes that are pushing their way beneath us below. They're about the size of a subway tunnel. They're huge, and they're pushing their way through the earth. So on occasion, if there's a fault or a cavity within the core, within the depths of our earth, when the lava pushes itself through the tube, it causes a type of cave-in. So it continues to fall along that spot until we get on our surface of the earth what we call an earthquake, which should more correctly be called a cave-in with an after effect of an earthquaking, just like lightning's after effect is thunder, right?
Wow. The hypocrisy here is quite simply breathtaking.
Exactly. Doesn't accept tectonic plates because of no proof. Yet he makes up a story about a sandy bucket that is not proof, and yet his story is right.
I bet Mr. Joey couldn't explain volcanoes with that theory. Hi, Hans.
Right, let's finally get to the next point of this godless engineer. I mean, class.
Let's see. The earth is flat and motionless. This is the easiest one in the world.
Hang on, I lost track. Is this for third graders or by third graders?
No. It can't be by third graders. Their imagination has a lot more common sense and logic.
So let's apply our common senses, and we're just going to look at the facts that we have in front of us. No preconceived notions whatsoever.
I really don't think I can take any more. This is the last one, okay?
Agreed.
You're a very well educated student. You know your mathematics, you know your sciences, and you've never been before introduced to the question of what it is or where it is that you are. And you're trying to be intellectually honest and figure out, what is it? I never thought about that before. Is it a sphere like they say? Is it flat? Is it, what is it? Well, let's examine that. There's a real simple, easy way to discover the truth. and it takes about 2 minutes.
Perfect. 2 minutes. Let's hear it, sir.
The way to test this answer, and the 2 minutes already started, so don't worry. That's how simple it is.
Oh man, just go.
Easy way to test, is the Earth flat?
The images.
Is simple. Topographically, take measurements over vast areas,
The images.
and if all those areas come level to each other without any deviation of curvature whatsoever, it's an impossibility that the Earth could be a ball 25,000 miles in circumference due to spherical trigonometry with the formula of 8 inches per mile squared, because it's an impossibility
Oh no.
after a few hundred miles for there to be no deviation in curvature whatsoever on a globe.
Oh wow, I can't even.
Yeah, elevation isn't drop. I've dealt with that one before. Is that it? Is that actually all you have?
Because remember, as you're on a ball, if you do a 360-degree circle, every angle of incidence is falling beneath you. You would be expected to believe that an invisible force is holding you to the Earth with no suction cups. And yet, water can't stick to a ball here on Earth, but they expect us to believe in outer space. The laws of physics behave differently. That's an impossibility.
No. What's an impossibility is you are a teacher of any sort. I am done.
Okay, I'm calling it. Class dismissed.
That was painful.
I think I just shortened my lifespan a little.
Katz, how you doing, buddy? You can go to the bathroom now. Class is over.
No. Uh-huh.
Well, Mr. Joey broke Katz.
Yeah, let's leave Mr. Joey to spend the remaining 30 minutes of his video rambling about how they lie and other nonsense.
What's interesting to me here is that it's quite clear that flat earthers recycle each other's codswallop.
A washing machine off its hinges.
Thank you for joining me on this one, Godless Engineer. Hope you're okay.
Well, I'll live to tell the tale.
I never knew you were a Madonna fan.
I'm not. It just drowns the suffering. Thanks for having me.
And also thank you too, Conspiracy Cats.
The images.
Right, that wraps up another episode of Flat Earth Friday. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you again to my patrons for selecting it. Before we finish, just a short reminder, you can find me on Facebook, just search SciManDan, and also on Twitter at the handle @SciManDan. I'll put the links for both of those in the description. Thank you all very much for watching. I've been SciManDan. Have yourselves a great weekend, and I'll see you all on Tuesday for something entirely new. Until then.